What if your child is not confused? What if your teenager is not lazy, distracted, difficult, overthinking, secretive, emotional, rebellious, or too intense? What if your child is simply operating from an intelligence system you have not yet decoded? Today, I want to take you inside an actual intelligence mapping case study. I will use an imaginary name for privacy. Let us call her Ananya. And as I walk you through this case, I want you to listen not only as a parent, but as someone who may finally understand why your child thinks, feels, learns, reacts, chooses, withdraws, questions, resists, and shines in a very specific way. Because in this system, I am not guessing. I am not looking at generic personality labels. I am not saying your child is creative or your child is analytical in a vague way. I am using planetary placement as the diagnostic engine. That means I am looking at the ascendant, planets, signs, houses, karakas, conjunctions, and the intelligence signatures they create. This gives a far more direct map of how the child's mind is built, what kind of learning environment fits them, what kind of career field may bring joy, and where their natural connection with the world is waiting to be discovered. Now let us begin. In this case study, Ananya has Scorpio ascendant. Mars and Mercury are placed in Scorpio in the first house. The Sun is the Atma Karaka and is placed in Libra in the 12th house with Venus. Mercury is the Amatya Karaka, also placed in the first house with Mars. Jupiter is in Cancer in the 9th house. Moon is in Aries in the 6th house. Saturn is in Leo in the 10th house. Rahu is in Virgo in the 11th house. Ketu is in Pisces in the 5th house. Now pause here. This is not an ordinary intelligence pattern. This is not the chart of a child who is satisfied with shallow answers, surface-level academics, or casual motivational talk. This is a chart of depth. This is a chart of investigation. This is a chart of research, psychology, hidden pattern recognition, spiritual questioning, analytical power, and aesthetic sensitivity. When you have Scorpio rising, the child's basic personality is not light and casual. Scorpio is a sign of depth, transformation, secrecy, research, emotional intensity, and hidden truth. A Scorpio ascendant child is not simply looking at what is visible. She is constantly sensing what is beneath the surface. So when a parent says, "My child asks too many questions," I do not immediately see that as a problem. When a teacher says she does not accept things easily, I do not immediately call that stubbornness. When someone says she is intense, I do not dismiss it. I ask, what is the intelligence behind that intensity? And in Ananya's case, the answer is very clear. Mars and Mercury are together in Scorpio in the first house. This is one of the strongest signatures in the entire chart. Mercury is intelligence, reasoning, language, analysis, communication, and learning. Mars is action, sharpness, strategy, courage, technical skill, and problem solving. Scorpio adds depth, secrecy, research, emotional X-ray vision, and the need to uncover what is hidden. So when Mercury and Mars join in Scorpio in the first house, the child becomes a forensic thinker. She does not just think, she investigates. She does not just listen, she scans. She does not just study, she penetrates. She wants to know what is real, what is hidden, what is broken, what is unsaid, and what others are not noticing. This creates a powerful form of research analytical intelligence. If you are the parent of such a child, understand this clearly. Do not force this child to simply memorize and repeat. That will not satisfy her mind. She needs depth. She needs why. She needs hidden logic. She needs pattern. She needs a subject that allows her to go beneath the obvious layer. This is why this system of intelligence mapping is superior and direct. Because I am not saying maybe she is good at science or maybe she is good at psychology. I can see the diagnostic engine. Mercury as a Matya Karaka shows the career intelligence. In Ananya's case, Mercury becomes the planet of professional skill and applied intelligence. And Mercury is sitting with Mars in Scorpio in the first house. This means her future field must involve analysis, communication, strategy, investigation, technology, writing, law, psychology, research, diagnostics, or problem solving. Not because someone randomly suggested it, because the career planet itself is showing it. Mercury as a Matya Karaka with Mars gives a sharp strategic communicator. It can produce someone who can debate, analyze, write, investigate, diagnose, argue, research, or decode systems. In Scorpio, this becomes even deeper. This is not like communication. This is psychological communication. This is surgical speech. This is the kind of mind that can ask one question and expose the real issue. So if Ananya goes into psychology, counseling, forensic psychology, law, research, behavioral science, investigation, data analytics, cybersecurity, medical diagnostics, astrology, or deep content creation, she is not forcing herself into a field. She is following her wiring. Now look at the sun as Atmakaraka. The Atmakaraka shows the soul's deepest learning path. In this case, the sun is placed in Libra in the 12th house with Venus. This is extremely important. The 12th house is the house of solitude, dreams, foreign lands, isolation, spirituality, retreat, hidden life, meditation, compassion, and release. When the soul planet goes into the 12th house, the person needs space. They need quiet. They need distance from noise. They need time to process life privately. So if your child has this kind of placement, and you keep pushing her into constant exposure, competition, comparison, public performance, and social pressure, you may damage the very intelligence you are trying to develop. A 12th house, Atmakaraka child needs solitude, not because she is weak, but because her intelligence digests life deeply. She needs withdrawal to understand. She needs silence to integrate. She needs privacy to reconnect with herself. Now add Libra and Venus to this 12th house. Libra is beauty, balance, relationship, diplomacy, fairness, refinement, design, and harmony. Venus in Libra is strong. So the soul path becomes connected with beauty, healing, relationship balance, peaceful environments, artistic sensitivity, and spiritual or emotional refinement. This tells me Ananya may feel deeply connected to beauty, but not in a shallow way. Not just makeup, fashion, or appearance. This is beauty as balance, beauty as emotional healing, beauty as design, beauty as peaceful space, beauty as relationship intelligence, beauty as spiritual atmosphere. She may enjoy design, art therapy, psychology, counseling, relationship work, healing spaces, spiritual aesthetics, wellness environments, retreat work, creative media, or visual storytelling. Now look at Jupiter in Cancer in the 9th house. This is a major blessing for higher intelligence. The 9th house is Dharma, wisdom, higher education, philosophy, ethics, belief, long-distance travel, culture, law, publishing, teaching, and meaning. Jupiter in Cancer brings emotional wisdom, nurturing intelligence, moral sensitivity, and deep compassion. This placement says Ananya is not meant to learn only for marks. She is meant to learn for meaning. She wants knowledge that expands her inner world. She may be drawn to philosophy, psychology, spiritual studies, mythology, counseling, teaching, literature, law, ethics, culture, or healing. This is where her existential intelligence becomes very strong. Existential intelligence is the ability to ask big questions. Why am I here? Why do people suffer? What is the purpose of pain? What is karma? Why do relationships break? What makes a person heal? What is truth? What is the meaning of life? A child like this may seem too serious at times. But the seriousness is not a defect. It is depth. If you give her shallow entertainment and shallow education, she may disengage. But if you give her a subject that connects psychology, human behavior, philosophy, spirituality, transformation, and real-life meaning, she can become brilliant. Now look at Ketu and Pisces in the 5th house. The 5th house is intelligence, creativity, education, memory, talent, judgment, past life merit, and higher thinking. Pisces is imagination, compassion, spirituality, dreams, surrender, and mysticism. Ketu is detachment, subtle perception, past life memory, and nonlinear insight. This creates symbolic intelligence. This is the child who may understand things without always being able to explain how she knows. She may be drawn to mystical subjects, psychology, dream work, spiritual systems, music, poetry, healing, meditation, astrology, mythology, or abstract creative work. But this placement can also make her detached from conventional academic performance if the subject feels meaningless. So if she seems uninterested in school, do not immediately assume she lacks intelligence. Ask a better question. Is the subject feeding her intelligence type? Is she being given only information, or is she being given meaning? Is she being asked to memorize, or is she being invited to understand? Ketu in the 5th house does not always enjoy ordinary learning. It enjoys essence. It wants the core. It wants the spiritual or symbolic meaning behind knowledge. Now look at Moon in Aries in the 6th house. The Moon shows the emotional mind. Aries is action, courage, urgency, and quick response. The 6th house is service, obstacles, correction, daily work, health, competition, and problem solving. This creates a child whose emotional body wants to fix things fast. She may become restless when problems remain unresolved. She may be emotionally reactive in stressful environments. She may feel pressure in daily routines. But this placement also gives strong problem-solving capacity. She can fight through obstacles. She can improve systems. She can serve. She can work hard when there's a challenge. This supports fields like psychology, medicine, diagnostics, health, fitness, service industries, counseling, crisis work, research, and any environment where problems must be solved. But here's the warning. Moon in the 6th can create stress if the child is constantly criticized. She may internalize problems. She may feel she must keep fixing herself. So the parent must not become only a critic. The parent must become a guide. Now look at Saturn and Leo in the 10th house. The 10th house is career, public life, reputation, status, work, authority, and long-term achievement. Saturn here gives seriousness, discipline, responsibility, delayed recognition, and the need to earn authority slowly. Leo brings leadership, creativity, dignity, and visibility. So Ananya is not meant to be careless with career. She may eventually carry responsibility. She may become respected, but not through shortcuts. Saturn in the 10th says, slow rise, deep work, earned reputation. This placement supports careers where maturity matters. Psychology, research, law, education, institutional work, consulting, management, policy, therapy, healing, structured creative leadership. She may not get instant confidence in public life, but over time, if she builds skill patiently, she can become highly respected. Now look at Rahu and Virgo in the 11th house. The 11th house is networks, gains, social influence, communities, long-term goals, recognition, and income. Virgo is analysis, service, health, systems, detail, correction, and technical skill. Rahu amplifies the sign. This is excellent for modern intelligence. Rahu and Virgo in the 11th can give gains through analytics, digital systems, technology, research networks, service-based platforms, health industries, AI data, digital marketing, behavioral analytics, or niche expertise. This tells me Ananya can do well in the modern world if she builds a specialized skill, not generic popularity. Specialized skill. She may gain through being useful, precise, analytical, and different. So when you combine all these placements, what is the final intelligence map? Ananya's dominant intelligence is investigative strategic intelligence. Her second dominant intelligence is existential psychological intelligence. Her third dominant intelligence is linguistic analytical intelligence. Her fourth strong intelligence is aesthetic relational intelligence. Her fifth intelligence is intrapersonal intelligence, meaning self-awareness, reflection, inner processing, and emotional depth. This is not a child you should push blindly into any field just because it is popular. Do not say everyone is doing engineering, so she should do engineering. Do not say everyone is doing commerce, so she should do commerce. Do not say this field has money, so this is best. That is not intelligence mapping. That is social fear. Real intelligence mapping asks, where does the child's mind naturally come alive? In Ananya's chart, her mind comes alive in depth. She may enjoy psychology counseling, forensic psychology, criminology, law, behavioral science, research, data analytics, cybersecurity, medical diagnostics, Ayurveda, healing sciences, Vedic astrology, philosophy, UX research, design psychology, art therapy, or deep content creation. Now notice something powerful. These fields may look different on the surface, but they share one common pattern. They all require the ability to detect hidden patterns. Psychology detects hidden emotional patterns. Law detects hidden logical patterns. Forensics detects hidden evidence patterns. Cybersecurity detects hidden system vulnerabilities. Astrology detects hidden symbolic patterns. UX research detects hidden user behavior patterns. Medical diagnostics detects hidden health patterns. Design psychology detects hidden emotional responses to space and form. This is why planetary placement as the diagnostic engine is so direct. The chart is not merely saying creative or intelligent. It is showing the kind of intelligence. It is showing the direction of intelligence. It is showing the environment where intelligence becomes joyful. And for Ananya, joy will come when she feels that her mind is being used deeply. She will enjoy subjects where she can investigate, decode, transform, heal, beautify, guide, or explain. She will not enjoy being treated like a machine. She will not enjoy shallow learning. She will not enjoy meaningless social comparison. She will not enjoy being forced into a field that has no emotional, intellectual, or spiritual connection. Her path needs depth plus purpose. Now, as a parent, here's the most important thing I want you to understand. Your child's intelligence is not always visible through marks. Marks show performance in a system. The birth chart shows the sphere of intelligence. A child can score well and still be misaligned. A child can score average and still have extraordinary intelligence in the right field. A child can look quiet but have deep intrapersonal intelligence. A child can look rebellious but have investigative intelligence. A child can look emotional but have counseling intelligence. A child can look intense but have research intelligence. A child can look dreamy but have spiritual and symbolic intelligence. That is why this mapping matters. Because once you understand the intelligence type, you stop forcing the child to become someone else. You start building the right path around who they already are. For Ananya, the strongest educational recommendation is this. Choose a field that combines psychology, research, communication, healing, transformation, and meaning. If she chooses psychology, let it not be shallow psychology. Let it become depth psychology, counseling, trauma work, relationship healing, child psychology, or forensic psychology. If she chooses technology, let it not be random coding. Let it become data analytics, cybersecurity, behavioral AI, UX research, or health tech analytics. If she chooses design, let it not be only decorative design. Let it become design psychology, healing spaces, UX design, art therapy, or wellness branding. If she chooses spirituality, let it not become escapism. Let it become disciplined study, counseling, astrology research, meditation psychology, or meaningful guidance. If she chooses law, let it connect with justice, human behavior, mediation, family systems, or investigation. The key is not the field name. The key is the intelligence match. So when I say, get an intelligence map reading, I'm not talking about a generic career suggestion. I am talking about a deep reading of how the child's mind, emotions, talents, learning style, soul path, and professional intelligence are actually wired. Because your child does not need more pressure. Your child needs accurate direction. Your child does not need comparison. Your child needs decoding. Your child does not need another label. Your child needs a map. And when the right map is used, the child stops feeling broken. The parent stops feeling confused. The path becomes clearer. The conversation changes from why are you like this to now I understand how your intelligence works. That is where healing begins. That is where education becomes personal. That is where career guidance becomes precise. That is where astrology becomes practical. So if you are a parent of a teenager, a Gen Z child, a young adult, or even if you are a young person listening to this and wondering why you do not fit into the usual boxes, this is your invitation. Do not reduce yourself to marks. Do not reduce your child to a popular career trend. Do not reduce intelligence to one exam, one subject, one report card, or one teacher's opinion. Your chart may be showing a very different type of brilliance. A brilliance that needs the right field. A brilliance that needs the right environment. A brilliance that needs the right mentor. A brilliance that needs the right timing. A brilliance that needs to be understood before it is judged. For a deep intelligence map reading, one that actually works for you, get in touch with me. We will not guess your path. We will decode it. We will look at your planetary placements, your ascendant, your karakas, your houses, your conjunctions, your intelligence signatures, and your natural connection with the world. Because the right intelligence map can change how a child studies, how a parent guides, how a career is chosen, and how a life begins to make sense. Like, share, and subscribe if this case study helped you see intelligence differently. And if you want a deep intelligence mapping reading for yourself or your child, reach out. Your child may not be lost. They may simply be waiting for the right map.